Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. Today I am doing my new player's guide to the map Lighthouse. Now this one has been a long time in the making. I've never made a full map guide to Lighthouse. There is a lot to cover. There's spawns, there's extracts, there's high loot areas, there is the water treatment plant with the rogues, and then there also is the actual Lighthouse Island. So this is probably the first one that it's going to be broken up into more stages, just because it's not one video I can just simply film and you follow me along in offline mode in one take. So without further ado, let's crack straight into it. All right, so I'm using the Map Genie website. There is a lot to cover in this video and I'm going to try and break it up into stages. I will be running around and showing you inside the raid, but I just want to show you the three sections of this video that I'm going to cover. So the first section will be the actual main area itself, being pretty much all this, like, I don't know, P looking section just here. So this main section, the main road, the chalets, and also like the little village area over here, I'll cover that in the first section. The second part of the video will be the water treatment plant itself. There's a lot to cover in just there. And then last but not least, the island. That is where the Lightkeeper trader lives, and you have to do a very long quest line to even get to him. So you have to do majority of the quests in the game, unlock network provider, and then once you complete part of that quest line, you'll unlock the Lightkeeper, and then he'll continue on to give you tasks. So there is a bit of process to even get to him, and I will cover that in more detail in the video. Just to give some sort of perspective as well, there is spawns throughout the whole area of the map. And then if I go over here and show you the extractions, the main extracts that you'll probably use as a PMC would be the Southern Road, the path to Shoreline, and then Northern Checkpoint. There is like the Mountain Pass, which is the Red Rebel. There is the co-op extract in the tunnel. And then also there's the car extract up here, being the Road to Military Base vehicle extract. So that's covering the bases. We're going to jump into the raid and I'll start covering the main section of the Lighthouse Road Chalet village area. All right, so welcome to Lighthouse. Now, the part we're going to start on is down the Southern Road side, so down the very bottom of the map. And the Southern Road extract is located, if you run around this little mountain section here, along the road, and through that little area, and then you can extract over there by the barrier. Now, when you go past those barriers there, I know it's a bit foggy, you can't see it exactly. I'll have it pop up so you can actually see it. But when you go past that barrier, you can extract. But one thing most people don't know is you can actually go down the bottom here and extract down the bottom. So if you are getting shot from the hillside or whatever, you can jump down and go down there to extract. Now, this area does get camped a little bit. It's not something I see get camped a lot. It's more people camping, someone going out to the actual island. So there's the Lighthouse Island, and people will sit up on these rocks, sniping as they're going up and down the bridge and stuff like that. So keep that in your mind, that if you're running towards this extract, it's always open no matter where you spawn. You can take this extract. Even if you spawn down the bottom here, you can still extract from it. However, just be careful that sometimes people will be up here trying to get all the sweaty high-level players with the big, good loots getting out from the lighthouse. So now, being able to run up this hill is quite easy and common. A lot of people that do come or spawn on this side of the map, you will see people run over to this spot right here and snipe this section along the road. Now, just be careful that people do come up here and snipe, but they're very easy to spot. Even if they're prone like this, if you're running along this like beach side over here or doing quests on this side of the map, you'll just see this little like knob of someone's head up on the hill, and you'll be able to pick them off. It's very easy to spot them up here. I don't know why people come up here. It's very, very risky, and there's plenty of other places you can go to snipe people. As for loot, there's the cars you can get some food and drink from there. And then down there, there's a jacket and a couple of other loose items. Nothing too crazy to talk about, but definitely worth noting that if you are low in hydration energy, there are those cars there. To open up the back of the cars, you'll be able to get food and drink. Now, I'm not going to run over to this side of the map and show this little, it's like a collapsed house in a bit of like a swampy coastline area. Actually, it's right there. The big one's right there. So I can just have a little bit of video footage going up there to show you, but realistically, there's not a lot of loot there. There's a crate underneath the bottom of the actual house itself that can have some rare spawns, but Mostly you'll just get some scavs over there, which unfortunately don't count towards the task that you get later on called Long Road. They have to be on the actual road itself. So those scavs don't really count towards any quests that you want to get done here. Running along this backside of the hill, I'm kind of not in the best spot to show you, but I'll show you once I get down here and don't break my legs. So the helicopter here can have a lot of med spawns, and also there's the chair above it that has some gold spawns, but this is a very high traffic area for people that are doing chalet runs and then leaving the map. So they'll loot the chalets and all that for their vertexes, which is one of the rarer items, and then they'll run along the back of this hill. So if you're going towards the extract, this is the way I recommend you take. You run along the back of the hill here, and then you can just go down. You just hug the rocks as you go down, and you won't break your legs, and you can just run out, and there's that barrier I was talking about. So instead of going all the way over that side or down those rocks over there, just hug that side, and you should be able to get out fairly safe, unless someone else is in that area. But just keep in mind that you can't go any further to the right here, and so therefore there is a bit of a choke point literally right where I'm standing right now. But if you're that way inclined, you know, if you sit there, you'll probably eventually find players. Now, the helicopter, there's some med spawns on the ground. There's like the crate there, and then also over there. And then there's the seat sitting up on top. Like I say in every single one of these videos, in offline mode, the loot doesn't represent what's on like online mode. But yeah, rare spawn. So you'll find these kind of items. Bitcoins, lions, cats, horses, rollers, GP, pro kill. So that's what I mean when I say a gold spawn. So any reference moving forward for a gold spawn, it's one of those like valuable items, or anything that pretty much is classed as a valuable item. Now the other side of the road, there's that there's like a hillside there. There's no actual good loot on the hill. There's a couple of hidden stashes, nothing too crazy to focus on. On the far side of that is the beachfront. Now along the beach there are a lot of boxes and crates that will have just tech spawns. So if you're after stuff like car batteries and all that, corrugated hoses, they'll all spawn down there. One of the rarer items that spawns on this map, but not other maps, is the military tube, or something that's like corrugated tube, military corrugated tube. It's it does spawn on reserve, but yeah, it's not as common on other maps. Now this is the first of the chalets. Inside here you have the med bag and a safe. All safes obviously have your gold spawns and all that. I highly recommend, now I have every key with me, but I highly recommend if you're going to go Lighthouse, you take a docs case. Just for the amount of times you'll find stuff like Intel and Bitcoins and all that kind of stuff. A doc case is great, unless you're here for the PvP, and then obviously you've got the SIG case that would be preferable. Or you could bring both. Now inside here, are you looking across this shelf for vertexes? And on this seat, there's also some tech spawns on the bottom here. Vertexes, and when I say where there's a vertex spawn, it's also gold spawn, so like Bitcoins can spawn there too. So bottom shelf here, you'll see the dot pop up. You want to look at both these seats and on top of this table. Now, when I'm talking about vertexes, the reason why I'm bringing this up is it's literally reserve or this map to find them, and this one has a lot more spawns. So a lot of people will be coming this map for the task Lend-Lease Part 2, Lend-Lease Part 2, and they'll be looking for their vertexes. So you've got on top of these, see here, there's another gold spawn. So on top of these ones here, on this box, this box, this box, and then look at the side of the table. Weapon crates can spawn up there. For the rest of this chalet, there are plenty of duffel bags and weapon crates, but we're going to be just focusing on the valuable items and the ones you should take note of. So now you'll find people when you run down here that they'll shoot this glass and you'll see this cracked glass. If this glass has been broken, someone's already looted it. If you're going to loot this spot here where there's vertex and gold spawns, just quickly check here. People have been getting a bit more cheeky with their camping. So what they'll do is they'll actually come here, they'll loot the actual whole house or parts of the house. They won't break the glass, and they'll chuck a couple of items in here. So then they'll sit in this spot here, and then when someone runs into that little pool area and they drop down into there, they'll be busy looking down at all the sweet, sweet loot, and then someone will come out and tap them in the back of the head. So Just be wary of that. As we run around this side, we've got another vertex valuable spawn there. And last but not least, on top and on the ground here. So that is pretty much the first chalet, all the most valuable loots that you should be paying attention to. I might miss one or two, but I don't want to spend this whole video just showing the loot, all right? The main priority is to show you a good idea of the map, but we're also should be checking out for valuable loot. These chalets, the top and the bottom chalet, are hot areas for PvP. There is so much PvP that goes down here that you will most likely die than survive a raid when you go to these two chalets. All right, not trying to like make you feel sad about your existence in Escape from Tarkov, but you will die a lot on this map, and it's not just because of PMCs. There's the rogues, and that will also destroy you. Now, this is the one thing I want to point out is a lot of people used to go up on top of this hill to snipe, but it's very obvious when someone's up there. Another really good spot if you are trying to get sniping kills and all that. I actually don't mind. I think it was on top of this rock you can get. It's not a bad little area too, because you can sit here and you can see people coming up to the chalet. If someone goes up on this hill, you can see them up there. And then also you've got obs of people running around down here. So you've got some options. It's at least a good spot to, if you're looking for PMC kills for, there's a couple of tasks really. There's Punisher Part 4 that requires you to have the Scav Vest and Balaclava on. There's the Assessment Part 1, which needs you to get 20 kills in this main like road area. And then there's the like counter action or whatever it's called, where if you're a USEC, you've got to kill 20 bears, and if you're a bear, you've got to kill 20 USECs. So there's a lot of PvP on this map, and then on top of that, you got Shooter Born in Heaven. So, yeah, people are out to kill you on this map. It's not a friendly map. So yeah, learning some of these spots where you can at least stand and just wait for a bit of action to happen so you can third party works quite well. So I'm not saying sit up here the whole raid because you'll probably get spotted, particularly after I just say this, but it's not a bad spot to at least just sit there for a minute or two, listen out to see what's going on. And because a lot of people will loot this chalet and come up to the top one, or go to the top one and loot down to the bottom, it's not a bad little spot to sit. Now, the next of the extracts to show you guys is this one back in the corner here. This is the Red Rebel extract. It's between the two chalets, and it's actually a really good one. So you do need to have the Red Rebel and a paracord on you. It doesn't consume the paracord, but it's one of those extracts that if you're farming vertexes and that, it's a really good one to have, because you can loot it and then quickly go there without having any issue of having to run a long distance. It reduces your extract time considerably. As for this house, there used to be a Bitcoin spawn upstairs. I will show you it just in case for some reason it comes back. On the far room down here on this shelf right here, there was a Bitcoin spawn and valuable spawn, but I haven't really found much inside this building at all. I'm sure there is spawns that I just don't know about. But yeah, med bag. And then I think there's another like... There's definitely loot in this room. I can't remember where though. It's like on the table somewhere. But it's nothing, like, obviously it's nothing too crazy because there's a jacket there. So, because I would remember it. But as you're running across here, be very careful of people up on the hill. There's not really much you're going to be able to do about it. Another valuable spawn here, and also stim spawn there as well. We're going to run straight into here and then behind here. And then you'll have your stim spawn, valuable spawns back here. Now, if the goons are on Lighthouse, so that's the 3 scav bosses, or they're like a boss trio, that is Big Pipe, Knight, and Bird Eye. They are located in this chalet right here. They'll be inside it, or they'll be on the, some of them might be on the outside. Once you engage them, they will run after you and they will fuck up your day. So just be wary of that. They do also spawn down at the water treatment plant, but if you are trying to farm them, this is the place to go. Go nighttime, check out this chalet. If they're not here, take the Red Rebel and reset over and over again. My favorite way of trying to kill them is to try and come in from this other side of the house. If you can, so come in from the low ground, go up through here in nighttime, and then once you're inside the house, kill them while you're in the house. It is much easier. They just run into the rooms and that, and you'll be able to slaughter them, for lack of better words. But yeah, for hunting the goons, I find if you can't find them here, don't find them don't try and fight them at the water treatment. All right, there's other loose spawns. I'm not going to cover all the small ones, but come upstairs. There is a safe. Now, this is a very unique safe. There's only some other safes like this on streets, but the USEC 1, I think this one is, and there's USEC 2. So this safe, the loot will spawn on the actual, like loosely in the actual safe. It doesn't actually bring up your normal, like, loadout menu thing. I don't know how to word it. All right, and then the next one is this one. So USEC 1 and USEC 2. These do spawn every valuable item as well as vertexes. But yeah, then not a little bad thing to loot. And then for the rest of the building, I pretty much just avoid because it's such a hot spot. There is a quest where you need to kill scavs at the chalets, so you will find a lot of scavs looting around here. And it's probably advisable at least to say you should be checking duffel bags as well, because a lot of good items will spawn on this map in duffel bags. Now, this is a new spawn I didn't know about until more recent, but on this chair right here, apparently that one and potentially this one, you can also find vertexes and other good loot, valuable items. And then obviously keep an eye out for that, the people out there. Just while I'm here, up here is a really good spot for sniping. I'm going to actually show it to you. But if you're going to loot that chalet there and then go down to the next place to loot, I would say go down here. And run across the road here, and you'll be able to get to the Merin Car. So, obviously, if you're crossing this road, you're pretty much vulnerable to every direction. But just keep an eye out with this mountain. There's also like people can hide in these little crevices underneath the top and at the back there, and they'll just have their little head peeking out. So when you're running, hold down your mouse wheel, give a quick look up, make sure that no one's up there. And these are the kind of things that knowing these spots will help you survive that a little bit more. Now, this is the Merin Car. This is a very valuable loot spawn. You'd probably find between 1 and 3 items on average through here. Obviously, we've got the Veritas pick. And then I'll just show you down the beachfront, and I'll explain it to you a little bit. So there's tech items that spawn down by the car and the truck down here. There's a couple of crates and stuff. Yeah, as you see here, so see all these crates like this? Inside those crates, just on the ground, there's actually some really good loot. There's a few of them as you run along, and they're definitely worth checking out. If you're trying to get Shooterborn Heaven done, Test Drive, which is one of those like kill people with a M1A from a certain range, this is actually not a bad spot to hit back here, to hide back here. And then I usually sit on this rock here. And then I just lay prone once it lets me. If you can get here early in the raid, I wouldn't spend ages here. But if you spawn around this area, jumping up on this rock, you can probably find 1 to 3 people every raid that will run down here and loot Merin Key. So the shitty thing is, if you spawn on the beach side of this map, you either have to run right in the open across the road up to the chalets, or the other option is to run down here and go towards the Merin Car, then cross the road. There are these 2 shacks here. There is a gold spawn on the bed inside this most closest room. But I'm not sure about the further one. Furthest one. The farther one. Now, this is where I need to bring up. If you're a USEC, you are quite free to run around this whole area without any issue. If you're a bear, you're fucked. Alright? Bears are aggressive towards the rogues, and therefore, if you run too far in this direction, the rogues will destroy your life. The problem is, this is why most people like to pick USEC, because it's easier, but bear because of the drip. Alright? So, unfortunately, if you pretty much go any further than I'd say about here, maybe even less, maybe even back that way, and you run towards that direction, the rogues that sit on top of these towers and all that will shoot you with the grenade launcher and you will die. That is that simple. But if you're a USEC, you can run pretty much all the way up across this bridge and you're still safe. If you're a USEC, another thing is if you want to get across to the water treatment plant side, and I'll be talking about that later, but you can actually just go across here, and then on the left-hand side of this bridge, there's a little walkway bridge, and you can go all along the beachfront and around the side. So that's another option as well. You don't have to go across the other side, which I'm going to show later on. But thought I would point that out there. So yeah, if you're a bear, you need to cross back that way and then go up through that center area. If you run across anywhere around here, you are running the risk of dying. Now, for this next village area, there are a lot of good spawns, but it is very high traffic of players. Now, inside here, you'll find plenty of food and drink on these shelves. If you are blown out stomach or struggling to keep your hydration up or whatever, these shelves are actually quite good. This is the convenience store key. There used to be gold spawns on this shelf, but I think they got nerfed. So mostly you just find food and drink. And then there's the body and the toolbox. Now, the keys on this map are pretty much dirt cheap. Even from the start of the wipe, Merin, Hillside House, USEC 1, USEC 2, which are your main 4 keys, are pretty much 100k or less. Probably the first week of the wipe, Merin and Hillside will be a little bit more expensive, but they've kind of lost their like popularity, and you should definitely pick them up. If you played Lighthouse even once, you should pick up those keys, because the chance of you finding something in one of those 4 spots will cover the entirety of all 4 keys. I just say at the moment, I'm probably only guessing, but you'd probably pick up all 4 for less than 200k. And if you looted the Merin Car or the Hillside, you'd probably make that 200k back. Now, inside this building, there's a vertex spawn in there. And then the other places to look for is on the ground here and on the ground here. All right, that's for your valuables and your vertexes. Running upstairs, you can explore the rest of the house as much as you want. There used to be gold chain spawns on these shelves, but I haven't seen them very much anymore. And then on the floor here, about right there, and then next to the laptop, they're valuables and vertex spawns. You should be checking all them. Now, I also forgot this shelf here can have valuables as well. Now, moving up the road. Inside these houses, there's a lot of tech, like inside these buildings, there's a lot of tech spawns. So you'll have them, there's a big tech crate that spawns there, and then there's also like toolboxes and loot items on the ground. So if you are trying to get money for just selling on Flea and all that, or upgrading your hideout, really good idea to just start picking up everything. Particularly if you're going to head towards the extract. Now this is the Hillside House. This is the one I was just talking about. So you want to look on this couch for vertexes. Underneath and in through these books are vertexes on top of here. And where I say vertexes, I also mean valuable loot. So Bitcoins can spawn in here as well. And a Bitcoin being 800,000, 900,000 rubles right now is insane. And then also inside this basin sink. There'll be food in that on the ground and throughout here. So just check all the chairs and all that in case I've forgotten something. But definitely worth checking out. I don't know of any good loot spawns inside that room. Inside that building right there. But, hey, if you're here, you might as well check it out if you really want to. I never check it out, though. Going over this side, we're looking at... there's 2 spawns to look at. There used to be, like, a really common gold spawn. It's not very good anymore. We're going upstairs. Vertex, looking on the table and just next to it and on the ground. Vertex and valuables, and then also in the trash can or above the trash can in the book. This used to be a Bitcoin spawn. I think it still does spawn there. It's just rare. It's just rare. Food and drink spawns on this table as well. I like pointing out food and drink, just because it's quite common that you'll blow out your stomach or you'll just go low in hydration, which is how the system is. And it's better off, in my opinion, eating and drinking in the raid and not having to bring in heaps for it. Now, as for the rest of the spots around here, I'm not going to show you all throughout those buildings. I do want to show you a couple more spots, though, before we head over to the water treatment plant. Like, I've already been in this raid, I don't know, 20-odd minutes, you know, and I'm just showing you the bare minimum. I'm trying to show you, like, the stuff that you really need to know. There's more stuff that you could learn on top. I'm going to be going through and doing loot guides for every single map. Like a full 100% breakdown of every map and where all the loot is. So, and all the best spawns and everything you should know. So, that's going to be coming up after all the map guides. And it's on my to-do list. I have a lot on my to-do list, but YouTube is definitely the focus. So, Now, this is a spot I love to sit. If it's a clearer day, it's even better. But if you're trying to get PMC kills, coming up on top of here, you can see people if they're fighting in the chalet. They'll be up on these rocks all the time. If people are coming down, you see them running down here, or you hear them coming down here, you can shoot them as they're running down there. You've got people as they're in the chalets. The amount of people that will come up this spot here is huge. The amount of times I shoot people that are coming up here and they're stuck there. Like, I'll wait till they run a little bit more in the open and then spray them down here, and they'll just be stuck there. And then also other groups will come up, check out this house, and they'll run across this way, and you'll be able to shoot them as they're crossing. And then on top of that, you've got, if someone's up on top of this rock or on this mountainside, you'll be able to kill them. If they're coming up through these bushes, you'll hear them before you even have to move. You'll be like, oh, there's someone coming up the hillside. And then also if they're heading towards water treatment, you can shoot them along the road. So if you get a spawn up in this top area here, I like to sit on top of this rock for the first 5 or 10 minutes to just be able to get my bearing on where all the players are. And I can usually get between 1 and 5 kills pretty early on in the raid, just because of all the people just trying to get to what they need to do in that raid. Some people are vertex farming, some people are trying to get over to the rogues, some people are trying to go to Lightkeeper. There's just a lot of movement at the start of a raid. After that, it kind of dies down a lot. Lighthouse is really shitty in this, and I'll talk as I walk. Lighthouse is really shitty for the fact that if you want to go to water treatment, but you spawn on the southern roadside, you kind of just got to reset. Because if you're trying to kill like the rogues and do certain quests there, unless you want the water treatment cleared before you even get there, it's kind of like annoying, right? So that's one of the benefits, that sometimes if you want to just pick up the items for quests and get out, having to spawn on the southern roadside, you do have to go past all the players to get there, but at least the water treatment should be cleared by the time you get there. The other frustrating thing on this map is the amount of scav players you'll see, or player scavs. They'll be coming in here and they can just walk straight up to a rogue and kill them without losing rep, and then they'll be geared up. So getting to the water treatment plant late can actually be really frustrating, because you'll have like 3 to 5 player scavs destroying your day. Alright, from this village, I'm not going to run all the way to the extract because it's not really hard to show you just from here. But if you just run around the edge of that rock right there and go down to the bottom there, that's an extract. It's 100% up no matter where you spawn. So you could spawn literally just inside this like village here, loot one item and head out. Just be careful of the run through. You need to get at least 200 loot or kill XP. Or you can spawn just outside Southern Road at the cars and run straight out of that. So that is the one benefit of this map, is you can just go, hey, I got one item I need. I've got the extract close by, got the XP. I can just leave and it'll be found in raid. So that is the benefit right there. It's definitely not going to have time to fully explain the water treatment in this play section, so I'm going to have to restart the raid. But I have one more area to show you, and there's one very important spot I need to show you. Like, very, very, very important spot. So, be very careful running across here. The amount of people that will be trying to snipe you as you're going across for Shooterborn and all your other quests. So I highly recommend don't ever run in a straight line, do a bit of strafing. Now for this village, there's a lot of like little tech spawns and stuff throughout all the houses, but overall, you're mostly just coming over here to get a couple of scav kills. That's about it really. I wouldn't even spend too much time over here. There's a task in this area as well. The one major loot spot I do want to show you is this car right here. If you crouch in inside this crate, you need to kind of come in on a 45 to it. Inside this crate, you got vertex and valuables that spawn there. Alright. Pop an SJ6 to just get my stamina back under control. Alright, so you can walk through and run around this whole mountainside pretty well. There are a lot of landmines, and I'll try my best to show you on a map, or I'll find a map that's already got it showing where all the landmines are. But there's a specific spot I need to show you, because you are going to die to this even when I show you, but at least I can give you an understanding of why you died. once I run up this hill. There is a spawn right here. So you will spawn here and you'll go, where do I need to go? And you can run straight across here and run down the hill and on your merry way. That's all well and good. The next thing you need to know is there is also a spawn just on the other side of that rock right there. And that person has two options. One, they run down in the open all the way along here and head down to here. Or two, they go behind the mountain and then they go to the water treatment plant. So if their objective is to go and do anything but the water treatment plant, all you need to do if you spawn is literally run over that little spot here, go prone, and before they can even figure out where they're going, you'll see them running out in the open, you'll kill them. I have killed dozens of people by spawning on that spawn just behind me, and people running out in the open. Dozens. And I check this spawn every single time I spawn in, and if I spawn in that spot, the only thing you can really do to try and counter it, and I've been able to do it sometimes, if you don't want to go to water treatment, that is. And that is, you can go up the rock and have a quick peek in hope that you can see them if they're up on the hill and shoot them first. So, this person will spawn about, I think it's about here. Maybe a little bit further this way. They'll spawn about here. So, my suggestion is if you do get this spawn, you can come here and then you just come across and try and see if you can see someone up on the hill first. Right? That's your best bet before running down that way. Alternatively, you hug the left-hand side here. Now, the rule is watch out for standing, don't stand on like the dirt. If you're on a rock, you probably won't blow up. All right. You run all the way down here. I think you can technically... No, it's not this spot here. Further down. So just hug the left-hand side. Otherwise, you'll get blown up. You can technically go around the back here. But you will be exposed to... Nope. You got to go further down as well. So if you're a bear, you'll be getting shot at very soon. But you can go around this way. All right. If you're a USEC, you can get away with it. If you're a bear, I'd be very careful. You're most likely going to be shot at by the time you get to that point there. So try it. I don't know. I don't normally play as a bear, but that's your main way in. If you're a USEC, I would say from here, you're allowed to go this way to the water treatment. Hopefully I don't get blown up. Alright, and this is another way in. Only do this if you're a USEC because you'll get the... Nope, there's a mine there. I can't remember the way. Alright? There is mines all over that section. So just be careful of that. Alright, let's get into the water treatment plant section. And maybe I can have like a little video of the actual better path, or maybe some footage for a better path on how to cross over. Alright, so we have teleported back in and respawned. So we are at the village bottom section that we showed the car just over here. And we're going to do the water treatment plant. I want to point out, I'm in offline mode. I've turned the AI off. But I will explain to you the order I killed stuff. Now, there is a video I did maybe a year or two ago, showing how I killed the rogues in like 3 minutes or 4 minutes. It has changed since then, but a lot of the premise, like a lot of the tactics are still the same. So first things first, I would normally run here, go prone, and I snipe the first one right there. The second one will run down, and I don't worry about killing him at all. He's a future person's problem. The scaz will usually get that one. Then you're up here. You shoot that one in the head. You aim pretty much dead on. If he doesn't kill him, or aim just at the very, very, very top of his head. It's about 250 meters. So there will be a little bit of drop. But if you're using 7.62 by 51, like in an RFB, the very top of his head will definitely kill him. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't. It'll be ricochet. After that, you'll want to run down here. Now, that little shack out there can have food and drink on the seat on the left. It has a filing cabinet in there. But if you're going to water treatment, you don't want to be hanging around the front too long. The only thing that makes it so you want to hang around the front a little bit longer is, I think, easy job part 2 is to kill 20 of anything in the forward half of the water treatment. So sometimes you can get some player scavs as they're running up. Now, if you didn't kill him over there, I'll show you the way to do it next. So the next rogue to kill, you run. So this pole is about probably somewhere around that. Stop, zoom in, hold Alt, and just very gently tap D until you see that rogue's head right there. You want to give a little bit extra. Like you don't want to just see it, because otherwise you'll hit the side of that. And you want to go just that little bit extra, so then you get the clean hit. Otherwise, you'll get something that looks like that. And that, he'll probably see you by this point, turn, and then kill you. Now, if you didn't get the rogue on the far other side, this is your second attempt to kill. Sometimes they do replace each other, as in like the other rogues that are on the top will run across, and you'll be able to kill them anyway. There is a spot. You might, yeah, I think that's the... I've got the wobbles. You can actually shoot the guy there as well, if you really wanted to get that guy. Now, my knowledge of the water treatment plant is, say, probably about 80 to 90%. I'm going to miss stuff. Now, if you do figure out how to get over these hillsides, there is an actual doorway. Or sorry, a window you can climb through right here. So if you make it over the hills and you're most likely a USEC, you can jump in and climb in through here. There's a vertex and a rare spawn right here. You've also got all the other spawns in throughout all these rooms. When you're inside this front section, this box right here is a vertex spawn. If you are... They've changed the rogue mechanics many times, but if it's in the rogue mechanic where they're charging at you, open up this door, sit inside here, and then just shoot them as they come in, and then close the door to buy yourself some more time, reload, and then go again. You won't get shot in the back, thankfully. But yeah. There is a lot of loot inside these buildings, so it's worth checking out all the rooms and all the spots. The box up here can have vertex spawn, and then check the ground for like military cables and stuff like that. I'm sure there's something else in here that I've missed loot-wise, but that's pretty much the main spots I would be pointing out. Now, if you stuffed up the shot... Oh, whoops, I missed one shot as well. My bad. I'll run back and show you. Now, after you've killed all those ones... So after you'd killed the one over there and then the one on the front gun on the right, you just go here and you'll be perfectly safe just to shoot the guy that's on that AGS right there. So shoot him in the head. At this point, you should be fairly safe-ish because you've killed a heap of rogues that you won't feel like you're like constantly going to get pounded from anywhere when it comes to being from the rogues. Unless like I said, they do that charge mechanic. Now, if you missed the rogue that was on here and he aimed at you and you decided to run past that doorway, the next best thing you can do is come up, open this door, zoom in, and a little bit closer to the right. Zoom in, and you can just snipe him through the doorway there. All right. Just be careful again. If you are too close to that side, you'll hit the wall like that. So just make sure you're allowing for the muzzle gap or the hide over bore. Once these ones are definitely dead, the front and back, there usually is one more up there, but he usually isn't too big of a problem. You run around this way. You might get shot at from the rogue on the far other side, so you should just sprint up. And there'll be one on top of this 50 cal, and he won't even be moving at this point. You run here, you shoot him in the back of the head. At that point, you can just run over, and then just go prone and loot him. Now, even if you had a really good spawn, by this time, player scavs are in the raid. And they're running here. Alright? Literally 5 to 10 minutes into the raid, you'll have player scavs spawning in, and they'll be literally running over this way. So, you need to have a little bit of haste. Something that does work quite well is, after you start hearing them coming through, just hide somewhere, let them do their thing, and then finish your raid. Because if you start fighting the player scavs, they seem to just gravitate towards that building. So any player scav in this whole area will be like, ooh, gunshots. And then they'll just start coming over and trying to kill you. So, now, this, I don't remember what key this is. This is water treatment plant storage room. This is water treatment plant storage room. I don't really know of much loot in here. There is valuable loot to be had, to be gotted on top of this walkway along here. So you're looking for vertex and stuff like that. I don't really check these back offices. Oops, I don't think you can breach that at all. And I generally try and stay away from this building. I don't remember there being good loot in these rooms. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember. Just remember, if you see broken crates, you should always be checking them. For example, something like this, because generally they are vertex spawns. Now, sometimes there'll be a guy on the 50 cal there. So if you run out the back like that, you might just get clapped. So just always check. Just do a little bit of a peek. Take the shot. Take the shot. Now, I think from the roof of this building, I'll be able to give you the best explanation of where not to go on the water treatment plant, just because of landmines and stuff like that. So from up here, so there is landmines. If you see that concrete tanker, so we ran in through this side here. There's landmines in that whole section there on the grass. So don't go on any of that grass over there. There's landmines, everything right at this road in this grass section right here as well. So just be wary of that. On the other side of the road, out the front. So that's the front tower. On the other side of the road, that whole section over there is landmines as well. So be wary of that. Just assume the whole hillside has got landmines unless you've watched a video of someone showing you how to get in through that. But they're the main ones to watch out for. I've never really run around this. No, I actually haven't had any landmines in this section. So yeah, as we come up here, usually there'll be one left up here to kill, and he'll usually sit on this 50 cal or behind this shade. So just come around, shoot him in the back of the head, or if he's behind here, shoot him. But he might have rotated onto that 50 cal for whatever reason, or AGS. Inside here, you want to look inside these crates with vertexes, and then just check all these tables and boxes, because I can't remember which one it is, but there's definitely a second spawn for high tier loot up the top. I went on a massive vertex farming session on hardcore, and it took ages, but we finally got them. So, which was nice. All right, so this section is where I said the landmines are, so just be wary of that. As for across inside the middle, there are a lot of technical crates that you can loot, all your supply crates, but generally speaking, unless you're a player scav, like go as a player scav and explore the areas, but I would not spend too much time in that area as a PMC. If there's any rogues that you missed, you'll end up getting beamed, and if there's not a rogue, there'll be player scavs in that area. They move so quickly through this map, it's terrifying. All right, this is the operating room. You need this quest for this key for a quest, so make sure you get the operating room at some point, and then you'll mark the table with a Wi-Fi camera. I think it is, or a jammer. So just be wary of that. And then as for the rest of this area, there are vertex spawns. I've completely forgotten right now. I don't know why. It's the crates. There's the crates. But I can't remember which one. So last but not least, you do need to go on top of all three buildings for a task called reconnaissance, so it's at least worth showing you the top of this building. You can go and clear the roads from the other side of the map as well. So if you've killed the one at the front and potentially the one at the back, there should only be... There's max 3 on the roof at any time. But yeah, for the reconnaissance task, you'll need to just go over there. And then you could also shoot the guy in the back of the head that was on the gun there, if you needed to. If he was still up for whatever weird reason. All right, there are rogues that can roam in the middle as well, depending on the time of day. Now, as for... if you were to run in from the other side. So remember how I said you could walk across next to the bridge? You walk across the bridge, you'll walk around the coastline. Do not go up on the hill. You'll end on the grass area. You get blown up by landmines. You can run around to the side here and come up on these rocks. From those rocks, you can snipe the guy on the tower up here and also the ones down the front. So I'd shoot the ones down the front first, run, and then once you get a clear shot on this guy, finish him off. Because if you look, depending on how far over you go, if you can get further than that spot there, the guy can't shoot you. So go around the rocks and then get up on here somewhere. I'll have to look through the trees, but you should be able to snipe him without being able to get hit by the 50 cal. Once you've done that, there's no landmines in this section, so you can just literally run straight across the road. These buildings do have keys to them. They're the store and the workshop key. I've never seen anything extremely valuable in them, but worth noting that they exist. For such a linear map, it's got a lot to it. You know, like it's a straight, narrow passage map. And this is where, like, sometimes you'll do a raid of Lighthouse and you won't see anyone, and then other time you'll run into like 12 people. It's pretty nuts. So that's unlock, breach. I'm missing one key, I think. That's the rogue stash key. Oh, maybe it's another rogue key. Yeah, so there's some weapon crates in here. I definitely know you can unlock one more. So if you need to get the operating room quest done, you do need to survive the raid after you've been in there. But you don't have to survive the exact same raid. So yeah, coming around on this side and shooting that way, and then coming in and getting the markings done can save you a lot of heartache later. Now for the extract, northern checkpoint is the far end of this road. I'm going to show you something else first. And remember what I said, there is landmines in this grass section here, so just be careful of that. Now, one thing I forgot to show you whilst I was on the roof of that building right in front of us is the car extract. The car is located at the very end of this road right in front of us on the right. There's a little cheeky trick I can show you. But so if you go, and that's the car right there. Once you activate the car, go inside the bus, go prone and crawl as close as you can towards the car, and you'll actually extract from within inside the bus. So instead of standing out in the open and having people shoot at you and rogues shoot at you and grenades thrown at you, you can hide in the bus, and unless they run right up on top of you, you're pretty safe. Now just be careful, if there's still a rogue on top of this building, that 50 cal will kill you if you try and cross over there. If you're after stims, this is actually one of the places that isn't too bad for it, the drug lab. So you can check all these tables on this couch as well for stims. This is for the task drug trafficking. You need to come in here. I think it's a jammer or a Wi-Fi cam. You need to place down. And you also need to mark the tankers back here. There's tankers there, and there's some to the right. Loot-wise, there's nothing really over in this side, besides obviously the stims that are located in there. But the building over here does have some good stuff. I don't know the specific spawns of loot, but there is one item that is extremely rare, and if you do find it, it's pretty cool to find. But it's not like a, oh my god, I need this item. And that's the ability to craft LEDXs. I think it's the LEDX item, the book that spawns in here. So, if you do pick it up, you do need to like extract with it. I think you can put it in your container though, thankfully. And then you can craft LEDXs, but by that point, it's not even worth it. The craft is too expensive anyway. And I believe it's on this table right here. But if you check all the bottom of these shelves, you can find a lot of tech items. So yeah, the book is meant to spawn on this table, I'm fairly sure. But yeah, check all the bottom of these shelves and you'll find a lot of tech items. And you should also do that. That was one of the other things. So in all three of these buildings, particularly this back one, people were telling me that you can find valuable like vertexes and that on the ground in these shelving units as well. So I've never seen them, but there was multiple people that confirmed it. So it's worth at least keeping an eye out if you've got time, if you're doing scav runs. I think you guys will probably scav run a lot more than me. But yeah, so this is the northern extract. But yeah, if you are scav running for vertexes, then I would check all those shells. If you do the one where you're doing drug trafficking and marking the fuel tankers, I like to just run around the back side of here. Oh, also the train extract. So the train comes in here around the 15-minute mark and leaves around the 7-minute mark, 7 or 8 minute mark. There'll be the one toot blast when it arrives. There'll be one toot blast when there's a minute to go before it leaves, and then there'll be 2 blasts when it's leaving. So if you hear the train toot, it's either the 1 minute or it just arrived, and you'll find a lot of scavs and players will use it. I try to avoid it like the plague. But yeah, if you do come around the back here, there was one recent time where I was actually hiding back here and a heap of players were trying to extract on the train. I killed them, which was pretty funny. But you can jump over this here. So if there's, I don't like exposing myself to this road just in case someone's running up it. So if you come down the hillside here, there's not much time for you to be exposed. You run around this, and from this point, unless someone's extract camping, which would be a crazy thing to do, you have to go a long way to extract camp. But yeah, the extract is in this corner right here. And that is water treatment plant. I've tried my best to explain it in the shortest time period. If you have access to the Lightkeeper, that's what we're going to move on to now. And I'll show you the island and everything that's to do with Lightkeeper. If you're not going to watch the Lightkeeper section, though, I do appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe. It really does go a long way. And share these videos with friends that are new to Escape from Tarkov. It does really help out a lot. I know there's some people at this point of the video it's going to be like, I'm just curious, or I'm never going to get to Lightkeeper. But yeah, if you do have found something useful from these videos, please subscribe. Help us get to the 1 million subs. All right, so apparently you can't go out to the island offline mode. So you're going to get to see a live tour of the island. I've just popped my stims. I've got a good spawn for it at least. Hopefully no one's up on the hill sniping at me, but I should be able to run pretty much non-stop all the way there. Now, if you've completed Network Provider Part 1 and 2 and Assessment Part 1, 2, 3 or whatever it is, and you finally got all the way to going out to the island, you do not need to have the actual plug out and visible. You just need to have it on you to be able to go out onto the island. So, yeah, before someone's sniping at me. All right, so I had someone sniping at me. But realistically, it's pretty... Usually I don't run into too many issues trying to get out to the island. Usually I have a lot of issues trying to get off the island. So I don't know why someone didn't use that to their advantage. But like I say, if you've done all the tasks, you don't need to take the item out, plug out. You just need to have the item on you. So now there is loot all along the bridge, but I would just ignore that. And worry about the loot that's on the island. If you're smart about it, go offline mode. So go in nighttime raids and capitalize on that. But just be wary that people will be camping you if they see you come out here. So, all right, once you're out here, you want to look at these crates. This one here. This is online mode, so I can actually show you the loot, which is good. The box here. The box is over here. Hopefully I can get most of this loot without... So we got an Eli badge. Bit of food. Items on there. Cool. If you see this door open, it means someone's been here. I don't normally look inside this room much. It really comes down to how much loot you're actually wanting to get. Now inside here, I'm going to miss spawns. I don't normally check these back rooms, but I do go upstairs. You want to look on the right here, on the shelves, on this table, along the billiard table. You've got the power bank there. Stim, this corner, and then this is your first key. I think it's the radar. No, it's this one. Conference room key. So inside the door, you're looking at this shelf. Like there's BP ammo. On top of the safe, along here, military cable. You've obviously got all the filing cabinets and that you can loot. Now, filing cabinets are definitely worth looting on Lighthouse because it has the chance of finding the blue folder. In that blue folder, they're selling for like 15 to 20 million right now. So, definitely worth picking up any of the spawns. Or checking all the filing cabinets for that. Alright. I think there's a spawn right in front of that piggy bank. You can find intel on these shelves, so it's worth checking them. You want to do a quick once over everything, if you can. Because there will be spawns that I won't know about. Just because I've only probably looted this about 30 or 40 times, and that's not enough to actually show you or to know all the loot spawns. And this is the bedroom marked room. You'll want to look on the floor as well, underneath that blanket. Some of the boys I do runs with from time to time said it's not worth checking out loot here, but I think it's only like a couple 100k for the key, so if you're going to come out here, you might as well grab it. But yeah, generally up here, on the bed and on the ground is the main spot to check out. Now, check inside the toilet. Gold spawn inside there. That's most of this building. Now, I could be wrong, but there used to be spawns along the beach. And I'm probably going to make mistakes. A lot of weapon parts in this map. Along the beach, along here. Unless it's changed, you can go all the way up along these crates. So PP ammo, LPS. Some suppressors. Yeah, Bitcoin. 900,000 just there. And this is why you bring a docs case. I don't remember being anything on the pier. I suppose there's nothing hurting you from just checking in case something's changed. Like I said, like I've only probably in this wipe I've only probably done about 2 runs of coming out here, or 1 run. I can't remember. It's not much. I don't think anything's changed by the looks of it. Now, okay, I'll explain the rules of the island. So, whilst you're on the island, you can shoot anyone on the mainland. Anyone on the mainland can shoot anyone on the island. But if you're on the island and you shoot someone else on the island and or bridge, you will get attacked by Zarachi and your plug will get decoded. So it's worth noting that you shouldn't shoot people whilst you're on the island. Now the actual lighthouse itself, the tower itself, there's not any loot in there that I know of. You should check this spot here. But I will show you Lightkeeper. He's going to tell me to go away because I didn't do his quest yet. It is actually pretty cool to go up there to snipe people though. So you go up to this level here and This is our friend Lightkeeper. So he's pretty much going to tell me, like, have you got the item? And I'm like, no. And that's it. So you can't do any looting inside his, like, special room. You can't just come in here and steal all his paracords and stuff. And on top of that, only one person's allowed in there at a time. I just want to focus on showing you guys the loot and what you're missing out on the island, and why it's valuable and worthwhile coming out here. So, early wipe, you would see a lot of people with the achievement of coming out to the Lighthouse Island. If you even just walk out here, you get the achievement, and there was a lot of people using cheats to come out here and get all the loot. So that's what it was very easy to determine those people, because they had the achievement and they were like low level. Like, you can't even get the quest to come out here until like level 35 or something. So now, if you checked all the filing cabinets and all the spawns and all that, I can guarantee you'll be coming out with like multiple million rubles worth of loot. But I'm just checking the main spots. I just want to give you a decent understanding of what loot's out here, without checking the filing cabinet. So, but I would be checking literally everything. I would loot the whole island. I believe there's loot on the roof, on the crate here, and over here. I think they're gold spawns, if I remember rightly. It's been a while. And then you've got a lot of tech spawns in this side as well. So just be careful. If you get too close to Zarachi or the cultists that are out here as well, you will aggro them and get killed. So now this is the radar key. This one is needed for a quest further on. I actually have the quest, I think. Do I? There you go. I have the quest. Pick up the hard drive. That's a good time to show you. And then you've got a little bit of loot in this room, and then upstairs. Okay, looking at all the tables and all that. When I do my full loot guide, but I'm trying to mostly just give you the idea of like what to expect out here. And then last but not least, you got this building over here. So that's to give you a decent understanding of what to expect out in the island. I think I did a pretty poor job of looting it, and I can guarantee you, look at some of the people that post stuff on social media and Reddit and that. Oh, I looted the lighthouse and I got like 4 graphics cards and 7 million rubles worth of shit. And it's true. Sometimes you come here and it's just like, oh, Vertex. Oh, a Coftum. Oh, a bloody, I don't know, insert the next item's name. And it's just insane. So I'll finish this one up here. You've got an understanding of what it's like out on the old lighthouse. I'm going to go up the top of the tower. I'm going to try and see if I can snipe someone that goes to that crate. But that is pretty much it for this video. But yeah, hopefully you guys got something out of this. But for this video, that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like I said a little bit earlier, if you haven't already comment, liked, and subscribed, please do. Help us get to the 1 million subs. Share these new videos with friends. It's the last of the map guides. There's only one map left for Escape from Tarkov, and that is the terminal map. That's the map to escape from Tarkov, and hopefully that will be in one of the upcoming wipes, and we can get 1.0 eventually. I will be posting all my full in-depth loot guides and also making other guides for people. So that's the focus from here. Sorry it took so long to get these map guides out. It's just been a process. Plus we're trying to do all the other stuff, and I'm using one editor to do it all. So it's an incredible job from Nafa. I'm rambling, so let's finish this up. Much love. And lastly, I'll see you next time.